road was closed yesterday, so I wanted to see if I could get through it today. The winds seem like it's calmed down. And man, did you guys see the airplane yesterday that crashed? Like, oh my gosh, like that is insane. I'm so glad everyone's like okay, and I mean I think there's a number of injuries. I don't know if anyone perished or anything, but I'm just glad everyone's okay in that. I mean, how does a plane flip upside down at Toronto Pearson International Airport? I just don't know. Like, was there like a wind gust that kind of caught one of the wings and lifted it up and then snapped the other one? I don't know, but it was upside down, and it's hard to even think about how that even happened. But the morning after another storm last night, I mean, we've had back-to-back storms, or it's just been one storm. It's hard to even know. But the size of the snowbanks at the sides of the driveways and even on either side of the road here, I mean, these are big ditches on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. And the fact that there's huge amounts of snow that's sitting there is insane. It really is. But it looks like it's a beautiful morning today, though. Hopefully the wind stays down for the remainder of the day. Seriously, what an absolute beauty of a day. This is great. It's so nice to see the sunshine after such a miserable winter. I mean, I think we've seen the snow, like the sun, like a handful of times. Seriously, I'd probably count 5 times that we've seen the sun for long stretches. I mean, for like the entire day. I mean, who knows? This probably won't last long either, but just wow. So this road that I'm on, it's known as Highway 124, and it runs from Shelburne to the south to Singhampton in the north. Well, it actually does an S bend that turns into like Main Street in Collingwood. But yeah, that's kind of what it does. Imagine living on a farm. You know how difficult it is to live on a farm? I have quite a few friends and clients that live in the country, and I'll tell you firsthand, just snow blowing the driveway, depending on how long it is, it could cost $50 just to plow your driveway with your own snowblower. Just in fuel. And then the time it takes to do it And when it's constant, non-stop, it is very difficult to even keep up with. Now, that's if you live just out there. I mean, if you have animals, right? If you have horses, if you have cattle, I mean, it's just, wow, look at that. That was just a guy snow blowing the parking lot of the scrap metal place I drove by. Now, the reason they close this road in the wintertime from time to time is the amount of blowing snow that comes through here is pretty crazy. I've been on this road once or twice and I've been caught in a snow squall that literally ripped through, and it can get very scary. And so this spot where I am right now is not so bad, but when you turn the corner here, and I'll show you, it's just open. Like, it's just here. Let me just pull over for a second. I'm gonna let this guy go behind me. He's kind of tailgating me, so. No need to tailgate people in this type of weather. It's beautiful though, right? This is just awesome. Now you can see we've already lost our sun. I mean, the blue sky is starting to fade. Now, once we get up on top of this little bit of a ridge, a little bit of a hill, you'll see what I mean. Let's see if I can I go wide? Sorry, I got the suction cup on the window. Not much I can do about that. See, the wind is blowing up here, and you can see that it gets a little bit dicey. Look at the snowbanks, right? That's from the wind, right? Obviously the snow, like obviously it's snowing, but the wind as well. I mean, that's some pretty big snowbanks. I mean, the sign, the billboard is kind of, I mean, really? Right? It's just crazy. Oh, anyone skiing in this type of weather? Man, They must have just been having a ball. If you're a skier, you're loving this. Once you get there, that is. Snowblower or a plow up on the left-hand side trying to look after the banks to get more snow off of the road. They use those I don't know, graders, I guess they're called, on the back roads in the springtime and the fall. You know, all the dirt and gravel roads, that's how they look after them. Even them out, fill in the potholes. Yeah, this can be a dangerous highway. If you don't pay attention to those signs, when this road is closed, then what can happen is if the lights are flashing on and off, and you're on this road, your car insurance is null and void. So if something happens to you, or something happens to your car, or whatever, or somebody else, it's all on you. Only when those lights are flashing, when it's closed. I mean, sometimes you feel like you're driving in a tunnel. I mean, you got to remember, the ditches are deep. Remember what I just said a little while ago, right? I mean, there's a big ditch on the left-hand and right-hand side, but you can't see it because the snow's already filled it in, and look at the size of them. These are some of the biggest snowbanks I think I've ever seen in Ontario. I mean, they're huge. Winter wonderland. I mean, Canada surprises me every single year. You know, ever since being a young kid. If you don't like the weather, seriously, just wait, because something will change. And when it does, Sometimes you end up with a morning like this. Some of the signs you can't even see. Hopefully in a month we're going to start seeing all of this start to disappear. This time last year we hardly had anything. I mean, Ontario was just, we had the craziest winter last year. It was so warm, and when we had snow, you know, a couple of days later it would disappear. We had a lot of freeze thaw type of days, and we haven't had anything like, I mean, Toronto, to be quite honest, we haven't had snow really until, like, that stuck around until this year, like probably like the middle of January, even like into late January. But Toronto's just so much snow everywhere. Just want to get out to the country, and it's just so much more peaceful. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better day to do some filming, specifically after a big snowfall. To the car noise with all the snow on the ground, snow, ice. Collingwood. I'll probably do I don't know if I'll do a walking video. Maybe I'll do a walking video in Collingwood, maybe a driving one, and then I'll head up to Blue Mountain into the village, and I can do a walking video when I'm there. You gotta make the most of it when it snows. Specifically if I'm growing this YouTube channel. It's coming around, it's coming along. It's taking a while. I did did a mall review, not a mall review, a mall walk in Owen Sound. And apparently that video kind of took off. The Canadian retailers, malls, I mean, they're just having such a hard time. You know, Amazon has really changed the landscape over the last 20 years just on people's shopping habits and how they're done. And malls, you know, they're hurting. I mean, Apple is doing extremely well. Tech stores probably. Well, maybe not all tech stores, but something about Apple, man, everyone is always packed in an Apple store. That was a barrier that they had up that was closed. I mean, you could also get trapped, right? Like if you are driving and, you know, maybe you're coming home from skiing or whatever, and all of a sudden you encounter one of those signs and the road is closed. And then you're like, okay, well, I'll just make a right hand turn and go down this road, and that one's closed. I mean, then what happens is you start getting into some of those back roads, and that can be kind of scary, because if the main road is closed, can you imagine what the back roads are going to be like? And if people start funneling into those roads, it can get pretty dicey. Now, I don't know what the answer to the question you're probably thinking is. What happens if you live on one of these main roads where they close the road? Like, can you not get to your house? Like, you got to find somewhere else to go to until they open it up again? I don't know the answer to that. It would be it's a very good question, and one that deserves an answer. But comment below and let me know what you think. Now, should I continue along 124 by going right, or should I go straight? Let's go straight and see what the back road is like down here. There's a big, huge quarry out this way. We're actually going to be driving right by it. Now there's a big hole on either side of the road. This guy's snow blowing right across the road. Look at the size of it. Man, oh man. Like, this thing is a beast. I mean, that tractor was probably, I don't know, maybe 5 times, 6 times the size of my car. Holy Toledo. If you haven't subscribed and you like the videos, please think about doing so. It really does help. I'm trying to grow this channel to many subscribers as I can. I'm trying to get it monetized. And for me to get it monetized, I got to get it up to 1,000 subscribers. So I'm still a ways away from that. And I also need to get my watch hours up. And right now I'm approaching watch hours in a 365-day moving day cycle. So hopefully I can get the 4,000 I need, but I'll need the subscribers to do that as well. So my fingers crossed I can keep pumping out these videos. So much for the sunshine. Looks like we're gonna be driving in some cloudier weather. Hopefully it's not. Well, it'd be kind of good if it was snowing. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta turn here. Yeah, so on either side of these snowbanks and trees is a quarry. This is where a lot of the limestone comes out of the ground and gets shipped down to make cement. It's used for condos and every other building material or building that you're thinking about building. You can't really see because of the snowbanks. Another guy is tailgating me, so I'm just going to pull over on the side. Oops, get him over this hill first. And then let him go by. There you go. People need to get places faster than I do, so just let them go by. Some of the views on a very clear day is just stunning down this way. So I put this into battery mode. Not battery mode, but I kind of geared down to this braking feature, and it recharges the batteries in my car, which is really cool. So if you ever hear me gear down like that, that's what it's doing. And it's slowing me down so I don't have to use my brakes as I go down hills. Yeah, so kind of straight ahead is where Collingwood is, and you can see the water. Off to kind of the right. It's hard to see. The clouds are all here, so. So we got a 9% grade going downhill. See, the snowbanks are a little different here. Right? You don't get all that wind. Right? The trees, well, okay. The snowbanks are still high. But you know what I mean. Not as bad as they were on Highway 124. We just drove by a no winter access road. So those roads you can drive through in the summer. It's more off-roading than anything else. in wintertime, people just use them to cross-country ski on. Barn on the left-hand side. I don't know if you saw that, but it's looks new. Wow, you don't see that very often. Remember I did a video in the fall, and actually I made a left down this road, and that's where I did all my fall color drive, and yeah, that was a big hit. That was pretty cool, but there's no way I'm going to go down that road today. I don't even know if it would be open. We may have snow moving in. Hopefully I can get to my destination before it hits. I mean, look at this. See, it's sunny here, and then it's like cloudy up ahead and to the left. Man, I don't know. Like, let me just like the left, like the clouds are moving in. Like Blue Mountain is on my left-hand side. Collingwood is kind of to the where I'm driving straight, and then off to the right. like a new pole they put in. I don't know, it's like a carbon fiber pole? Do they not use cedars anymore? I don't know. First time I've seen that. Yeah, you can tell that we're getting close to being in town. They've paved the roads. Well, they haven't paved the roads. They're salting the roads, which you don't normally get out in the country, obviously. this lady's just kind of standing there. You gonna go or not gonna go? I have no idea what's happening. Why this person's just standing there. Pulling out of these streets is going to be extremely difficult for people. Just move over. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'll probably drive to the Starbucks or park on Main Street and then jump out and maybe we'll go for a little walk before we head up to Blue Mountain and grab a coffee. Someone either needs a new muffler or they've got one of those things that make their mufflers grumble. I don't know what it is. Anyways, that car in front of me is the one that's making it, so. I don't know, it doesn't sound healthy. Either that or let's just stay in the car. We could just drive around Collingwood instead of actually getting out and walking. Be nicer, actually. Don't have to deal with all the slush and wiping out and everything else, I guess. Well, welcome to downtown Collingwood. So we're just going to do a little drive around Collingwood here. Before we head up to the mountain, Blue Mountain that is. Yeah, on the right-hand side there's a place called 1858 Caesar Bar. Apparently the Caesars you get in that restaurant is pretty crazy. And I don't mean the meal Caesar, I mean the drink Caesar. These condos are finally being built on the left-hand side. It took a long time to get that building